How to win as an ENTJ. Number 1, be yourself. I think that ENTJs are built to win, in some sense. They find that sweet spot between planning and adaptability, between organising and opportunism. They do tend to be competitive, ambitious and perfectionistic. So, what's the problem? Well, maybe I should have titled this video, How to Win as an ENTJ Without Paying a Big Price. ENTJs can make use of the societal structures that exist. They can perform well all the way from the education system up until the workplace. They are much more likely to struggle with their personal relationships than with their work life. And in fact, the work life can be the cause of some personal issues for them. Charm versus charisma. ENTJs can be big personalities, which often leads into being commanding and charismatic. But being charismatic is about captivating and drawing attention to yourself, not necessarily about getting people to like you, which is more the realm of charm. I would advise any ENTJ to lean into charm whenever possible. Yes, being competent and hardworking will get you places, but if people don't like you, simple and stupid as it may be, it can derail things very quickly. Fortunately, I think there's a way to kill two birds with one stone here. Having introverted feeling as their inferior function means they're kind of out of touch with what is important to them on a deep and personal level. They tend to make decisions in a very detached and impersonal way, based on what makes the most sense to achieving whatever goal has been aimed for at a given point. This doesn't just create problems for themselves, but causes issues with other people too, when they extend the same approach to them. A person's values, whether they are even aware of it themselves, are one of the biggest driving factors in their life. It can be both the thing that will make them devoted to something, or make them quit their high-paying job and pursue something totally out of left field. It can actually look very irrational from the perspective of thinking types. So charm involves focusing the attention on the other person, finding out what matters to them, what drives them, what they value. If you do this, whether it's with your family and friends or the people you work with, it can really have a transformative effect on your relationships. Now, I can't say that this is going to be easy for ENTJs. Sitting down and listening to people talk about themselves is, at the very least, inefficient and a questionable use of your time. But when it's with people you're going to see on a regular basis, it really pays off. Take breaks. Or take the edge off things. Overworking is something ENTJs are very likely to do. Having SI as their polar function, which I discussed a few videos back, means that neglecting themselves can be a regular issue for them. Now, this is not the same as not exercising or not eating well. It's a case of not always seeing the value in slowing down, putting your foot on the gas, and simply looking after yourself. ENTJs love their work, whether that's their job, their hobbies, their projects. It can become all-consuming. The difficulty is, there is this clear positive feedback that comes from putting in hard work, and that's the results get better. There is a point, however, where poorly managed and regulated hard work can actually become very damaging. If you're in a situation where you're extremely tired, but you know you can push through and finish something off, there are many times where it's beneficial to do so, where giving in to tiredness is actually the suboptimal option. But, of course, there are other times where, simply put, your body is just right, and you need to follow what it's telling you. Now, I want to avoid hypocrisy here and try and give some advice that I myself would actually follow. I do not like taking time away from the things I'm working on. It doesn't feel enjoyable to me and it just feels like time lost. So as an alternative to this, I would recommend finding activities that take the edge off what you're doing. There's that famous phrase that people use that sometimes a change is as good as a break. My advice is always to have other projects or hobbies or interests. And these can be things that you take seriously. They don't have to be hobbies that lack a sense of purpose or direction. They might even be things that over time you want to turn into the main thing you do. But whatever they are, use them to take the edge off whatever your main focus is at any given point. If you're working on anything that is worthwhile and difficult, at some point you're going to encounter roadblocks and frustrations. And if that's the only thing you're working on, your sense of self-worth or even just your mental health can be very wrapped up in whether that's succeeding or not. So diversify your workload whenever possible. If you're an ENTJ, then you'll understand how satisfying it is to see these external metrics going up. So please give this video a like, and more importantly, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also check out all of the links in the description of this video that include our website, Patreon and Discord server. I think that was a pretty efficient ending.